Former NFL player Chris Canty and the Unsportsmanlike crew on ESPN talking about the Steelers and the Browns and the AFC playoffs.
I'm going to go in on the Steelers. They got the unlosable game that is the New England Patriots coming up this week. So we'll see what happens. But I think Mike Tomlin over the final 4 games will find a way to get a win. They'll have a winning record. It'll probably be good enough at 9-8 to punch their ticket to the postseason.
I agree with everything you're saying, but I still just look at them and I'm like, is this a playoff team? It's like from a talent perspective, I want to say no because I still can't believe they're able to win the games. But from a numbers perspective, yeah, I think they're going to get in.
I think they finished with a winning record, but not in the playoffs. Browns, in or out?
I'm going to go in with the Cleveland Browns. The defense has struggled a little bit, but I like the way the offense looked with Joe Flacco. Now, here's the thing. The Rams were in a must-win situation. Their playoffs had already started, but I do think the Cleveland Browns with Joe Flacco at the helm are going to find a way to put together some wins. They got the Chicago Bears down the stretch, another unlosable game against the New York Jets down the stretch. They'll find a way to get to 9 or 10 wins. I think the Browns make it in the playoffs.
Yeah, and the other games they have, Texans, which will be interesting, and to finish out the season, the Bengals. So they do have a really winnable stretch of games.
They're getting in. I think they have enough of a head start to get in, even if they struggle late.
Lance, your thoughts? I think the Browns will make the playoffs. Just your thoughts.
Yeah, I think that it just comes down to consistency, like you said. So, you talk about the Steelers, and I'm a huge Mike Tomlin fan, and you hear the word culture all the time. For me, culture is consistency. Culture is doing the things over and over. Culture is trusting in what you do, and that's what the Tomlin and Steelers have done for years, and they've done for decades in Pittsburgh. So that's kind of what the Browns are looking to do, and I think Stefanski really kind of does that. He week in and week out, whether you like it or not, he's very consistent in his approach. He's very consistent in his temperament, and that takes a lot in the NFL. You're talking about a 17-game with a bye week, so you're talking 18 weeks where you have to mentally get and physically get these guys ready to go. And I think he does a great job of it. But I think the Browns have a lot of games winnable down the stretch because they're getting to the point where they're consistent in their approach. Week in and week out, practice in, practice out, the way they approach it, the way he adjusted with Flacco with the play action tells you that he's working, playing to the strength of his players. I think other guys will get involved because Flacco can get to his 3rd and 4th progression. So, I think the Browns are in good shape. They, it wasn't. I didn't think it was, everything was all was lost if they lost in LA. It's tough to travel to the West Coast and play. And I think they're going to be fine. Again, the defense is very good, and the offensive special teams just need to continue to protect that defense, and they'll be fine.